All right. So we are talking about all the HBO Max news, the big reveal, name change party they did last week. We just talked about Harry Potter. So if you're watching on replay, I'll link that video up here so you can watch our Harry Potter talk and the rest of the HBO stuff. And our last one before we move on to another topic is the Penguin. We're getting in production teasers. So we're not even getting a teaser of the trailer. We're getting a teaser of the movie or show that's coming. It's insane. Although this looked amazing. I'm just gonna spoil it right off the bat. Yeah,
guys, you're in for a treat. If you haven't seen it yet, this is gonna be fun.
Yeah. So it's the Penguin, Colin Farrell, his character from the movie The Batman. So let's check it out and talk about it.
This is one of those moments you gotta ask yourself, what kind of life do I want? The world ain't built for guys like us. That's why we gotta take whatever we decide is ours. This Carmine Falco's right hand. Try to push me out. Whoa, hey! You ain't seen what I can do. If you step out of line, even once, I'll gut you like a goddamn fish. You imagine the people saying my name in the streets after you're gone? Have it mean something?
I was going to say, you filthy animal.
Gotham.
What did you say at the end?
The new king of Gotham.
The new king of Gotham, right?
The new kingpin of Gotham.
The new kingpin of Gotham.
Kingpin, yeah. And that's why I don't know. I remember Elle was like, she thought you said the new penguin of Gotham.
Yeah,
kingpin of Gotham. I like that.
Yeah. That was just because the Batman is probably easily my favorite live action Batman movie, and it really left me wanting more, especially in terms of the characters. Like Colin Farrell was one of my favorite things about it for the bit part that he had. So I'm all for world building like that and more character exploration. So him getting a solo show, and this is going to be the bridge between the first one and the Batman sequel, I'm really all for it. You know, I loved his approach to the Penguin. I love the whole, you know, kind of mobster, wise guy, De Niro-esque vibe, you know, to it. So, you know, I'm definitely in for that. Just wondering if like, I don't see how you're going to do this without having Bruce Wayne or Batman show up at least once.
I don't think you need it. I think you can do it. Just kind of explain how he's gotten the power, and then you're gonna bring Batman in because the Batman's still dealing with other villains, or he might be putting things together. And remember, Batman's young. You know, he's very young, and that's why I don't like the Batman. I think I like it a lot, but I don't think it's the best one I've seen because he's not very Bruce Wayne-ish yet. So like he's only got one side of the coin. Is how I always felt like, you know. And that's probably why you like it.
That's exactly what I appreciated, because we always see Bruce Wayne with the Playboy image, and I liked that it was a fresh take. I liked that he was in Batman mode like the entire time, because I thought that was pretty accurate to like a young, rough around the edges version of the character as he evolves into the classic, you know, Playboy image of Bruce Wayne that we're so familiar with. So I like that. I appreciated that fresh take.
Just to say, it's the best live action Batman because it's only one side of the coin. I mean, it's probably the best origin story. I feel like that kind of like that.
Well, so, it went more into the detective element too.
I do like the noir element.
I liked you know, I loved the way Gotham looked. You know. As much as I like the Christopher Nolan movies, the only time I liked his take on Gotham was Batman Begins. After that, it just looked like Chicago. You know,
Yeah, it was Chicago.
It is Chicago.
Yeah, that's what that was the problem.
It is Chicago.
It looked like the Nolanized version of Chicago, I should say, just really white and pristine. It looked too clean for me.
Too clean, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, especially in the second and third movie, it was
all effed up.
It just looked like any interchangeable Nolan city.
Okay.
But I liked a lot of things, like from a stylistic standpoint, and just the whole vibe of the Batman. It was the Batman movie that I was kind of waiting for.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm happy they're focusing on the Penguin because I like the character better. I think that's another thing. You need to have a good villain, and to get equal the good villain that we need for the second movie, you need to give him more of a backstory. So I think doing this allows you to have that backstory to kind of elevate that character and that villain. And when you have a great villain and a great hero, now you're gonna have a great movie. When you have a less great villain, it really is hard to become an epic movie.
Yeah. I mean, he looks cool. He doesn't look like Penguin, like how you picture, but I get the vibe they're going with.
Yeah, like
I like it. I like it a lot.
Grounded crime drama type.
Yeah.
You know, so I like this take on the Penguin. I'm still and Colin Farrell's really, really over the past decade, I'd say decade plus, probably ever since In Bruges, I really started to respect him as an actor. And he's pretty much good at doing it all at this point in his career. So I think this is well deserved for him. You know, I love him in the role. Hell, my brain's still trying to process the fact that this is him.
Yeah. It's really good makeup and costume.
Yeah.
It's like you get Penguin meets Tony
Soprano.
The Sopranos, exactly.
Yeah.
Meets Kingpin. You know, you really are becoming a Kingpin, and you know that's something that we're getting in the MCU already with with Spider-Man and with Daredevil. I think this is going to be a good answer to that, but it's going to make him elevate him as a villain. So that, I mean, if we do get Batman, maybe we get Batman towards the end of the series or end of it to kind of say, I see you. You're now on my radar, and now the movie jumps right into it.
That's what I think will happen.
Before we get to that, Horror Geek said, I'm excited to see how they do Clayface in the Batman 2. So the bad guy in the Batman 2 is supposed to be Clayface. I don't know if they talked about Penguin in there, but it's hard if they don't. I don't know. I don't know. It all depends, I guess, how this season ends. But it might end with Batman coming in and arresting him. I don't know. Then Dirty Vegas said, I'm feeling it. Same. Yeah, it looks good. Looks like any other mob thing to me. I'm going to watch it, but hope it's something new. It does look like a mob thing, but it's also a comic book thing though too. So it does look very much like very even the way the font is and it's like very Sopranos and Godfather-y, kind of thing. But remember, it's a Batman villain. It's awesome.
And I really like that they're kind of building up the criminal underworld of Gotham, because that was always a big thing that Batman was always up against. It was like street level Gotham, like the criminal underworld. I think going more into that is really a great idea.
Yeah.
And Penguin was all about gaining as much power as he could. So exploring his rise to power, I think, is also a really exciting idea.
Yeah.
Like I said, the world building element is something. What is up, Zach?
What's up, Zach? Appreciate you here, man.
I'm trying not to say anything because I saw you up there.
Then Tony said, "You rat bastard." We're old school mob. Jorge said, "I stand with it being the best live action Batman." It's up there, man.
It's good. It's the third best for me. It's not the best.
It's up there.
I mean, the first Batman is still my favorite. I don't care. Y'all could just whatever.
Yeah, the 89.
Yeah, y'all could take all the other crap and throw it in the box. I'll take that one.
Yeah.
And you guys,
I
I'll be
agree.
just okay with that.
Me and my boy Johnny Ravioli gonna stop being that face. You schmuck.
Schmuck.
Johnny Ravioli.
Oh, totally.
Bruce is weird in a lot of the comics, and it embraced that. It did, but also I just think it didn't get it enough.
Yeah.
You know, but I understand why though. You know, it's like, you know, because even Superman went through that point. Is like, well, I don't need to be Clark because Clark is getting in the way of me being Superman full time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I get what they were trying to get is like, I don't need to be Bruce Wayne because it gets in the way of Batman full time. You know,
and then Alfred finally kind of tells him, "Hey, you need to have the persona. You need to keep both sides up." And he understands. He gets that as he grows. So I understand why it is that way, but I can't say it's the best Batman because it's part of the story. Bruce Wayne is part of the Batman story. Yeah. So I feel like that's why you miss a little bit of that. Yeah. So that's just
if they do a trilogy, you know, which I do hope they do, you know, but if they do a trilogy, and he grows as becoming a better Batman, which he was already a great Batman on screen, but also becoming more of Bruce Wayne, then I'll be like, okay, you know, as a whole, this whole thing was great because Christian Bale did the same thing. You know, like he didn't want to be Bruce Wayne anymore, and then Alfred came in and is like, hey, listen, this is your dad's name. You have to fight for. You have to protect. You know, so I can see stuff like that. But but Bruce Wayne is really weird sometimes in the comics. I'll give you that.
I mean, he's a sociopath. Come on, man. Yeah. We know that.
You gonna say something, Brandon?
Oh, nothing. I was just saying. I was just kind of reiterating. I liked, you know, even with Batman Begins, even though they did kind of tackle that obsessive element of Bruce and him wanting to just be Batman as often as possible, he still maintained that public playboy image. So I'm just kind of, I'm
did he really? I don't feel like he wasn't maintaining it, and that was the problem.
Batman?
It would be like the Dark Knight and all that stuff.
The Dark Knight.
And then the Batman Begins and stuff. He wasn't doing it, and Alfred had to say, "Hey, look, bro, you need to go. You got to keep it going." He wasn't. It would be 9 months, and you wouldn't see Bruce Wayne.
But the bottom line is, he was still buying hotels and going out with models and stuff like that. So he was maintaining it. I did like the idea of the kind of rough around the edges. You know, he was 2 years into his career as Batman in this new one. Yeah. So I like it was something new. It was something that we hadn't seen. So I really appreciated that.
Yeah, and I like that for that. You know, seeing early stages is always cool. Yeah. I forgot where we left off. Brian said, I would pass on anything Pattinson. I just don't like him, but I did appreciate them using the Riddler instead of Joker.
Yeah. Oh, jeez, Brandon, if you can't get past Twilight, just say it.
Tenet, he was in Tenet. He was great in Tenet, too.
He was great in Tenet. I mean, I love this character. But, you know, Tenet should have been a better movie. So
I thought Tenet was great.
It should
have sounded better. They should have.
I was gonna say, you guys could actually hear the dialogue.
Yeah. At home, when I was able to blast the surround sound, but in the theater, you're like, huh? Yeah.
What? What did he say?
Yeah. Then they scream the next moment. You're like, I'm deaf.
And then the music was just leading on like. Boom.
Oh yeah, I love the music, but it
didn't make sense. It didn't match.
Yeah, it didn't match the rest of the audio.
I agree with this 100%.
The most accurate Batman / Catwoman relationship in the movies.
Yeah,
I agree with that 100%. 100%.
Yeah. I like it.
I think she did the best job as Catwoman.
Yeah, she was really great. She was really great. Zach said, "You guys think Batman will make an appearance in the Penguin?" I think so. Towards the end.
Yeah, we were just talking about that. Yeah, I think so.
I can see it too.
Yeah, and then Dirty Vegas said Clancy Brown is in it. It's for sure going to be good. Oh, is he going to be in it?
He is.
Oh, all right.
It's probably going to be really good. Okay, I'm all for it.
The only thing he was in I liked was the elephant movie. The elephant movie. What elephant movie?
From
Water for Elephants.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That was good. That was a good one. You mean Adam West? And the old one. He said the first one.
Michael Keaton, man. Give me Michael Keaton.
Adam West was a fun one though. That was fun.
I mean, that's our transition, man.
Transition. It was just the way he would talk, and then the Robin.
I just love them always going up the buildings.
The shark repelling on the belt, like that was great. That was great. Brandon said, Ben's Batman embraced Bruce.
Ben Affleck could be one of the better Batmans. He should have been one of the better Batmans because he makes sense as him. I still think
like
the
movies,
old, the movies don't do it justice, but he makes sense. I believe him beating up people. I could see Ben Affleck beating people's face in. Like it makes way more sense than for everyone else.
Massive dude.
Yeah, everyone else is like you get hit by Batman. You're like, all right, dude, I'm gonna choke you to death.
Yeah, Christian Bale hits you. You're like, what was that?
Hold this. I beat you down. Like, come on. Yeah.
Although in either of the Justice League movies, the Whedon or the Snyder, he just seemed like he was over it. He's like, I'm done. Like he's like, just to get paid. Yeah.
Every time I see, I think about that picture or that meme with him with the smoking cigarette. He's like,
yeah,
that's like him in the entire movie. Justice League.
Like, is it over? Said Ben's Batman embraced Bruce. You never saw Bruce run into danger in any other Batman iteration. But yeah,
he did
run into danger.
He did kind of walk towards the Joker and take a bullet graze to the arm in the first one in the 1989 version.
Yep, he did. I mean, he was killing everybody. That's what you guys gotta remember, man. That Batman was a badass. Michael Keaton was it.
Come on, man. When he like grabs the silver plate. You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts.
He was channeling his inner Beetlejuice there.
Yeah. So
I that's the reason why I'm gonna go see the Flash. Literally.
Yeah.
There's no other reason.
They're marketing it like it's gonna be a Batman movie. There's like a dozen more posters of just Batman.
Oh yeah. When you have a main star that problematic,
Well, yeah, and then you're like, hey, remember this guy that you all love?
Yeah, so. This is Batman co-starring, or this is a Batman movie guest starring the Flash.
Exactly. The Flash. Yeah. David Face said Robert Pattinson was good in Good Time. Really good movie. Same guy who wrote and directed Uncut Gems. I don't think I've seen Good Time.
I haven't seen it either, but I don't hate Robert Pattinson at all. Robert Pattinson, I feel like he's a good actor. I know he made the Twilight movies and I know it was annoying as hell, but he himself is a good actor. So. Yeah.
Everyone's got to start somewhere, and I can't even be mad for him for Twilight. Get your money,
Yeah.
Hey, I would have done it.
all that money. Pattinson has done a bunch of great indie films. Yeah, he's done a lot of good stuff. He's good.
He's good. A very good actor.
I can't knock him.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. So real quick, one thing before we end it with the Penguin. I think this might be. There's a comic book run of the Batman where basically he lets the Penguin run the city. Not run the city, but he's like, hey, you need a. Like, I'm gonna stay away from you. I didn't read it. I just kind of read the Cliff Notes version of it. But basically, like, I think Penguin was gone. I forgot, because of Batman or because he chose to be. But then the city kind of was crazy, and it was too much for the Batman to handle. And then he goes back to the Penguin. He goes, listen, I'll let you regain your power, but then once you regain your power, we're back to me versus you. But listen, man. Do your thing.
This craziness has to be cut down. I know how you react. I know how you do things. At least it'll be things will be under control. And
So I think I wonder if that's going to be something like this, where like he's going to get all this control, and then at the end, Batman comes in and is like, "Listen, I let you gain control, but now you're going a step beyond, and I need to put you in check." I can see something like that happening. I don't know.
Or is Penguin just going to be around in the background?
Like
for the entire time. So, and then in the third movie, he finally says, "I have to take Penguin down because he's gotten too big."
Yeah. Yeah, and this could be all setting up Penguin to be the big bad guy.
Yeah, the villain.
Yeah, like the overarching villain.
Which makes sense because you can't really use Joker because Joker's just been used. I mean, he's the villain, but you have two of the best Jokers and two of the greatest actors of all time, like playing them. So why even try to go to that part? Use the Penguin.
I hope the Joker stays locked up in Arkham in this new kind of really, if he stayed locked up in Arkham in the whole of however many movies or shows they make, I'd be totally fine with it.
What if Penguin's the main bad guy and one of his moves is in movie 3, he lets the Joker releases the Joker as his chess move because it's Batman versus Penguin playing chess and one of his moves is I'm gonna release the Penguin. Release the Joker from Arkham Asylum, and that's one of his moves, and it kind of blows everything up. And then now the whole third movie is him having to deal with Joker and then dealing with the Penguin. I can see that being exactly how they go. So Clayface could still be the second movie, but Penguin's still going to be there in the background, still doing his stuff. Yeah,
like still doing like the dirty work on the ground, kind of bad guy.
And even saying like, well, this Clayface guy is getting out of line, and that's what Batman's doing. He's getting them, come and get this guy who's going out of line. But Penguin gets too big for his britches. Batman tries to say, hey, you need to get back in your spot, and he says, no, who are you? I own you now. And then release the Joker. Now we have all these things, these elements, and we can have a very cool Batman third movie. And I think that would be a great way to end the trilogy.
Yeah,
with the Joker still getting away.
Yeah, that's how it needs to be. But I said they need to use him, otherwise it would be a waste of Barry Keoghan. Keegan. Okay.
That's Keegan.
Yeah, I mean, they barely used them in the first one. There was the deleted scene that we got later that was amazing. But that wasn't technically part of the movie, so that's not canon. The only Barry Keoghan we got was the laugh. So I don't know.
Well, I think that still could be setting up things for the third movie.
Yeah,
once again, we're setting it up all for the third movie, and then won't be a small role in the third movie because once you release the Joker's going to go Joker on the city, and he's going to destroy everything. And trying to put that genie back in the bottle is going to be hard.
Yeah, you meant having like Barry Keoghan having his own Joker show kind of thing. I think that'd be cool. Because there's a comic book where Joker comes out of Arkham, but before he goes and messes with Batman, he has to regain all his money and street cred. Basically, like he goes to the strip club, he runs, and he's like, "Hey, I'm back." And like he messes with people, and it's a really good I think it's just a graphic novel of it, like him prepping to go mess with Batman. So he gets out, gets all his money, gets all his goons back and stuff like that, and it was a pretty good story, especially if you're a Joker fan.
I'm all for that.
Yeah. But all right, I think we talked about this one a lot. It looks good. It looks really good. I'm excited. Colin Farrell is a great actor. Matt Reeves is a great director, and I think it's going to be good. It's going to be very mobster and very. I still think it's going to still stay true to the Penguin character, So I like it. But cool, we'll for sure check this out and review that as it releases sometime next year, 2024. Yep. So
Brian, you're not too angry about this trailer being released too early, are you?
It's not a trailer.
It's even behind the scenes. It's showing the cameraman on purpose. So it's just telling you this is nothing. I'm showing you nothing. I'm just telling you nothing's happening.
I didn't even think about that.
Tell me nothing.
Production teaser.
Tell me nothing.
Okay.
And it's not a movie. How about that?
Okay.
It is a Disney Plus show.
All right, man.
Just open up that can of worms.
Now I'm gonna talk about Batman, and Batman is not. You better stop me now.
All right, we're gonna put him down. Let him go on his rant. Watch, I'm gonna click back, and he's still gonna be talking about Batman.
Oh, you looking at me on mute? You didn't know.
All right. But cool. That's our thoughts of the Penguin trailer and kind of like what we think about that and how it's going to connect to maybe the movies and stuff like that. But leave a comment. Let us know what you think about the Penguin, all your thoughts. If you're watching live, stick around. We got one more thing coming up. If you're watching a replay, thank you. Appreciate it. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. We're going to be starting announcing our giveaways for the big 1,000 subscriber event. Once we hit that, so make sure you hit that subscribe button, share with your friends and all that good stuff. We're going to have a couple giveaways once we hit 1,000, so it's going to be fun. But thank you guys, and we're going to move on to our last topic for the night.